Hi, this is Pastor Bob, and welcome to Pastor Bob Daily. Very rainy day here in Tennessee. That's why we're inside instead of outside doing the podcast today. Well, I had an interesting question from somebody. They said, Pastor Bob, which one do you think is worse? Alcohol or marijuana? Interesting question. And, at first I thought, I don't want to answer that question. Because I get a lot of those kind of questions that I really don't want to answer. This was kind of one of those. And then I thought, there are some things I would like to talk about. But let's answer this question. Which one is worse? Marijuana or alcohol? If you took the world as it is right now, and you pulled out marijuana and you pulled out alcohol from everything that's happening in the world, and you reintroduced them, what would we do? What would our lawmakers do? What would our religious leaders do? What would the general public do? How would we feel about these things? If you look at alcohol, for instance, and you say, okay, we'd like to introduce alcohol, and this will be probably one of the biggest reasons for traffic fatalities. This will be one of the biggest reasons for divorce and problems with families. Many of them are alcohol related. This will be a problem for severe impairment as far as motor skills and the way that we're able to conduct ourselves. And then marijuana, this will be a problem with, a certain amount of impairment. You can drive, but you're not going to drive really well. You're going to see things that aren't really there. You're not in control of everything, but, I imagine if we reintroduce both of them today, marijuana would probably become legal and alcohol probably wouldn't. And, I'm oversimplifying, and there are many more pros and cons in both, and I'm sure that's the case. Now, having said all of that, what would I do? Well, I don't do either one, so I'm not an authority on either. I've told you that I'm not a drinker. In fact, I have never tasted beer before. I've just abstained, and I'm not telling everybody to do that. I don't think it's a sin necessarily, but that's me. Never done any kind of drugs. But I think when we talk about these things, we miss the point. Folks, it's an important thing that we understand what makes us tick and what makes life, honestly, worth living. It isn't escape. Let's try that again. I just lost my iPad. It isn't escape, but it's engagement. And, the greatest thing to be able to do, as a real person living in a society that really needs your involvement is to not escape, to find things around you that make life worth living. That's the whole point. And honestly, the point is, folks, that there are so many things that make life worth living, and so many things you can do to make life worth living, that you really don't have to become impaired to escape or to enjoy yourself any longer. The Bible gives us some keys. It says that when the Holy Spirit comes into our lives, He begins to give us love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, self-control. Those things, when they begin to operate in our lives, give us a whole lot more deeper satisfaction than pot or alcohol ever could. The power of forgiveness. When you are at odds with someone, and instead of trying to escape from reality, you actually engage in and forgive. It's a huge thing. There are some things in life, folks, that you can do in a proactive way that really make it worth living. And so I think the whole point is Is it better to escape? Is it better to fantasize? Is it better to kind of begin to fabricate another reality? Or is it important that I engage life the way it is? That I begin to live this life to the fullest of my ability without escape and begin to enjoy it. And I hope you'll take that to heart today. It isn't about which one should I use, pot or marijuana. It's how should I engage life for total inner peace and fulfillment. God bless you. Have a great day.